All right, guys, we got a new bracket for you today. We've had some movement on different seed lines with the first and second rounds of the Big 12, the ACC. It's currently 12:45 a.m. headed into Thursday. So let's go ahead and get into this bracket. Big Sky game just finished. Montana State getting the win there. So we have inserted them into the field. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so starting off with the one seeds here. No movement here from last time. Still Purdue, Houston, Uconn, and North Carolina. Purdue, Houston, and Uconn are pretty much locks for the one seed no matter what goes down for the rest of the week. North Carolina could move up or down with Tennessee and Arizona, depending on what goes down. Pretty much whichever one of these most likely wins their conference tournament is most likely going to get the last spot unless all three of them win it. All right, then moving to the two seeds, we have Tennessee, Arizona, Marquette, and Creighton. These two seeds are most likely locked in unless Illinois goes on a serious run in the Big Ten tournament. Why am I freezing on that name all of a sudden? Unless Illinois goes on a big run in the Big Ten tournament, or Iowa State and Duke might could jump Marquette or Creighton, depending on which one of those does worse. But as of right now, the two seeds pretty set in stone, I think, with Tennessee, Arizona, Marquette, and Creighton. I don't know why I can't talk right now, unless, again, Tennessee or Arizona jumps to the one seed line. All right, then on the three seed line, we've had a little movement here. Illinois, Iowa State, Duke, and Kansas. Kansas dropped to the bottom. I had them as the top three seed previously. I don't see them dropping below a three seed line just because they have so many impressive wins. I know they've looked pretty bad as of late, but they have wins over Houston, over Uconn, over Tennessee, and you got to give them credit for that despite some of their questionable losses. All right, then the four seeds, we have Baylor, Kentucky, Auburn, and BYU. BYU looked really good today for a little bit. Five seeds, South Carolina, Alabama, Texas Tech, and Northwestern. The only one of these that could probably move down significantly is Northwestern. I think they could move down depending on what other teams around them do. And I'm not sure how hard they're going to go in the tournament because they do have some injuries. All right, moving to the six seeds, we have Florida, Nevada, Utah State, and Washington State. I think Florida's ceiling is 6. I don't see them going above this. Now, Nevada and Utah State could easily move up to a 5 or a 4. And Washington State, if they win the Pac-12, could move up to a 5 probably. All right, 7 seed line, we have San Diego State, FAU, Boise, and St. Mary's. St. Mary's recently moved up from an 8 seed for me. And then I had another team drop from a 7. We'll get to them in a minute. Out of these, FAU, if they go on a serious run and win their tournament, they could probably move up. All right, then moving to the 8 seeds, we have Gonzaga moving up for me as well. Nebraska, Dayton. Dayton is moving up too. They were recently on the 9 line for me. And then Clemson. Clemson is just pitfalling as of late. I really don't know where they're going to end up. They could end up on the bubble by the time we're done with this because they look terrible today. All right, 9 seeds, Colorado State, Texas, TCU, Oklahoma. So Colorado State dropped here to replace Dayton, I think, so I had here. Texas lost today versus Kansas State. TCU got to win today. If they keep winning, they could jump up to an 8 and pass Clemson. Oklahoma got the loss today, but I think they're still firmly in the field. 10 seeds, we have Drake at 28-6, Wisconsin and Mississippi State. Both of them, I think, need one win to lock in to the NCAA tournament. As of right now, they're still on the bubble, though. And then James Madison closing out the 10s. All right, at the 11s, all right, so these are all the bubble teams. All right, Michigan State and Virginia, similar to Mississippi State. They need one win, I think, to pretty much be in the field. And then these last 4 teams, at the moment, we had a little movement here. New Mexico, right now at 23-9, Seton Hall at 20-11, Kansas State 19-3, Appalachian State 27-5. All right, so Kansas State needs, I think, one more win to solidify probably being in. They're not for sure in just yet, but I think they're going to be in by the time it's all said and done. And then New Mexico, all right, a lot of that's going to depend on what does the committee think of the Mountain West. If they think highly of them, then New Mexico should be fine. Seton Hall, I think they have enough wins over quality teams that they should be in. Then Appalachian State, I know they're not going to be on a lot of people's radar, but that win that they have over Auburn, I think, is really going to help them out. All right, then moving on to the 12 seeds. If you see a little asterisk next to them, that means basically they have not won their conference tournament yet, but that's who I'm assuming right now is going to win it. All right, Grand Canyon sitting at 27-4 as our first 12 seed, winners of the WAC. USF sitting at 23-6 out of the AAC. Okay, so this is one that if USF does, let's say USF doesn't win this, and let's say FAU wins it, that creates another bubble spot for some team that could slide in. So be on the lookout for that. Similar with Richmond. All right, Richmond and Loyola split the A-10 regular season title. But let's say Dayton wins that one. That creates another bubble spot, which could really be good for some bubble teams we'll talk about in a little bit. All right, then McNeese State, 31 season, looking really good. All right, Princeton out of the Ivy League, 24-3, really good so far. Sanford, they booked their ticket. UC Irvine and Morehead State. 14 seed wise, we have Colgate. All right, Colgate made, I think, 5 straight NCAA tournaments now. We'll see if they can make some noise in the tournament. You got Vermont, Charleston, and Quinnipiac. If I said that right, ain't no freaking telling. 15 seed lines, we have Oakland, Toledo, Sam Houston. Sam Houston now in the driver's seat for that conference. Louisiana Tech lost today. Then Norfolk State. All right, then the 16s. All right, Stetson, South Dakota State, Longwood, why is South Dakota State still italicized? Let me change that. All right, Longwood, Grambling State, Montana State, and Wagner. If you see them italicized, so those last 4, I forgot to say that on the last 4 in. So if they're italicized, that basically means they're in the play-in game, is what my assumption is at the moment. All right, so those are the 16 seeds. All right, then looking at the bubble picture real quick, we'll slide through this because I do have another video talking about the bubble picture. Basically, all of these teams are currently on the bubble, all right, that you can see on the screen now. Pitt, Virginia, Wake Forest in the ACC, Kansas State, Cincinnati in the Big 12, in the Big East, Seton Hall, St. John's, Providence, Villanova, the Big 10, Iowa, Indiana, Michigan State, Ohio State, Mountain West, UNLV and New Mexico, Pac-12, Colorado and Oregon, SEC, Texas A&M, Mississippi State, and Ole Miss. And then out of that, we have Appalachian State, Indiana State, and Memphis sitting outside. All right, then the teams that got eliminated today, Virginia Tech, Butler, and Syracuse. All 3 lost today, knocking them out completely of the bubble picture. But let me know your thoughts. All right, who at the moment is your last 4 in? Let me know down in the comment section. Comment down below. Make sure to like this video and subscribe.